Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Great Awakening. I'm your host, Giselle Brunn, and our special guest today is Mr. Tim Sandars, founder and CEO of the Omnia Radiation Balancer. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks very much for having me. Great to be here.
I would love for you to share your story with the audience on how you came about founding your company and its background. And yeah, please.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, I sort of take it back to the origins of why I became interested in this topic, which is, how electromagnetic fields affect and harm the human body. Back to when I sort of had a few mental health issues. I was suffering from stress, and I was living in Singapore, and I was hanging out with some alternative practitioners, healers. And one of them came around my house one day and just said, right, you're not in a good way, because at the time I wasn't very well either. And she started muscle testing me for everything in my house, like my toothpaste, my, aftershave, everything. And, we found out all these things that I was not, agreeing with. But then she picked up my mobile phone, my cell phone. And I was like, oh, no, not that. I was like, don't, let's not test that. And sure enough, for anyone who doesn't understand muscle testing, it's where you use your body's strength. You can hold your arm up like this and you pull down on it and you see how strong you are. Not very easy because I'm wearing a dark pullover, but you test your body's strength before and after holding something. And just the act of holding something has an effect on the electromagnetic signals and the strength in your body. And your body gives you a yes or a no. And I got a very clear no from using my cell phone. And I was like, right, what do we do now then? Because I was in the, business of removing anything that was making me stressed or, upsetting me or agitating me. And she had a few solutions and we tried those, and, she introduced me to a few people and I got into this and I just thought, well, wait a minute, if this is happening to everyone, and, she told me that everyone she'd muscle tested was going weak. I said, if this is happening to everyone, then this is big news and also, a good business idea, And then fast forward about 2 years from that moment, and doing a lot of research on not professionally, just out of interest about what was happening, why. I met this guy who was doing a talk at a kind of consciousness festival, and halfway through the talk he said, "Oh, and I've also got the solution to all the radiation problems in the world." And I was like, "Well, that's quite a big shout, that's quite a big claim." So I got talking with him afterwards and I said, what have you got? What's this solution? And he said, here they are. And he gave me these stickers and I was just like, no, like this, I was like, come on, I'm not dumb. But because I knew how to muscle test, I then took these stickers around to everyone at the Consciousness Festival, all the people I've met there and a few friends. And I just tried it out and I muscle tested them before and after using this sticker. And sure enough, their bodies went super strong. And I was like, okay, I've got to know what's in this because it's just a sticker. How can this be? And that took me on a journey to understand everything, a new concept of the atom itself, how effectively everything is electrical current in motion. Everything, yes. not just what comes out of a cable, not just what comes out of this, but everything is electrical current in motion, right? Including my body, including these glasses, the glass in these glasses, everything is electrical current in motion. And in fact, when you have, a wire, a cable that charges up your phone, laptop, or whatever, all that is light and heat passing down a copper wire, right? And ultimately, everything is light and heat. Everything is light spinning as an atom. And so when I understood that, I understood that a sticker could be looked at in a different way and could actually contain an energy field. And that was his gift, was that he spent a long time trying to work out how to get a specific energy field into a sticker that
Yeah.
could then override the electromagnetic field imbalances and make them resonate with the electrical currents in the body. So we then had this harmony between all of these, what I would call agitated electromagnetic fields that come from wireless devices or cell towers, or anything that's wireless, and bring them into harmony, bring these electromagnetic fields into harmony with the energy in the body. So I got his stickers, took them home, did a whole lot of tests on the blood, went to see an applied kinesiologist to get a proper answer, because I'm not fully trained, I'm not qualified, and yeah, got a really good response. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to build a brand around this product and take it to the world. And I assumed everyone would just go, my God, thank God you're here, wow, this is incredible. And some people did.
Yes.
But what I realized is that not many people were ready for this information, this message, apart from the ones who are super sensitive, of which I think you're one. So that's that you were already ready to receive that information. But for those who don't feel anything, and just because they don't feel anything, it doesn't mean it's not happening, by the way. And I always use the analogy, can you feel your fingernails growing? Because they're growing, but you're not feeling it. But yeah, and it's exactly the same with electromagnetic fields. Something's happening in your body, but you're just not feeling it. And some people do feel it and others don't. And it entirely depends on the electrical makeup of your body, how sensitive you are. So yeah, I built a brand called the Omnia Radiation Balancer. We basically have a product which is these stickers. You can put a sticker on anything from your phone to your laptop to your electric car to your baby monitor to your microwave oven, anything that's radiating or has man-made electrical fields, because man-made electrical fields carry this imbalance which has to be corrected. And that's different to the sun, because the sun is a perfectly balanced electrical field, radiation field. And this is where people get a bit confused, is that they think, well, hold on, if my phone is far less hot and vibrating with less frequency than the sun, so why is that having an impact on me? And we can explain that through the science of the inventor that I met at that consciousness festival. And if you want me to draw it out for you, I can explain it very, very clearly if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So like I said, every cell in our bodies carries electrical current or light, right? That is what we contend, and we can show you evidence of that. And it actually spins like a torus field, every cell. It's spelled, if you do a blood analysis, you take blood out of your body, put it under under a microscope, you can see these torus fields, these donuts spinning around, right? And that is what is spinning around, is light electrical current spinning around all these donuts. Now, these donuts or torus fields of light want to spin like this in your body with what we call balance and centeredness. And what they're actually doing is they're spinning around a still point like this. So the still magnetic point in the center, and they're spinning around it. But they all want to spin with balance and centeredness like this. And along comes a man-made electromagnetic field from wireless devices, and it vibrates and spins like this, right? What's happening is there's a magnetic still point inside the electrical field of your cells, and it's listening to that imbalanced electrical field, and it starts to pick up its resonance. It starts to vibrate in sympathy with it, right? So it starts to basically pick up that bad vibe. So what we do is we take the field that's going like this, and we change its state, its vibrational state. So it's vibrating like this, and then it's in harmony with your body's cells, and your body's cells go, thank you. I can now get on with that new energy field. And that's what we do all through just a simple sticker like this. To show that it's effective and it works, we do tests. We do the applied kinesiology, the muscle tests. We do tests on the heart rate variability. We do live blood analysis, and we do water crystal photography tests. And I'm just about to do some biometric testing as well, where we, test all the electrical signals in the body using a really clever machine from Russia. Funnily enough, the Russians
Wow.
are all over this. You know, they've been studying the electrical currents in the body for maybe 40, 50 years.
True.
So they're the experts. And
Mm-hmm.
Western medicine is trying to keep you in the dark about all the electrical currents in the body because they want to sell you pharmaceutical products. So
Yes.
if you imagine that the Western kind of corporations
Mm-hmm.
only want you to think of the body in terms of biochemicals. They
True.
don't want you to know that you're an energy field, that every cell in your body is vibrating with electrical current, and that current has to be in balance for you to be
Mm-hmm.
healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, if you're imbalanced and your cells are imbalanced like this, you get a biochemical reaction. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
get toxins released into the body, which some
Mm-hmm.
people interpret as viruses.
Yes.
Do you see? There's an
Mm-hmm.
alternative theory there, right? If your
Yes.
body is electrically compromised, then toxins develop in your body, and your
Mm-hmm.
body then wants to get rid of those toxins. And then, you know, Western medicine comes along and says, "Oh, those are germs, those are infectious. We need to stop those. Let's give you a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot of chemicals," and they make loads of money doing that. So,
Mm-hmm.
don't want to get into too much trouble there, but uh, just my views, only my
Yeah.
views. Don't take it as fact.
It's your disclaimer.
Yeah, exactly. My caveat coming up. Yeah,
Oh, thank you so much for elaborating on that because it's because it's so scientific. It gets lost in translation for a lot of people that are not aware of how simple things can really be explained for us to understand in layman's terms. And and so you've really hit the nail on what the orb, which is the acronym for the product, and the little sticker, how it actually works, what it is, and but how would you suggest that it really can help us when it balances and harmonizes our energy? For those people that are not sensitive, like myself,
mm.
would the muscle testing be the best way for them to do, to hold their phone out and to do that test like you suggested with their
Yeah.
arm? How else can they find out more about how it's going to help them and their home environment?
Well, it's very difficult, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's a very subtle test, right? Even a muscle test is not as, you know, cut and dry as some people might think.
Yes.
So, you know, some people don't do the muscle test correctly. I know many people who've said, "Oh, tried the muscle test, didn't work," and
Mm-hmm.
then I said, "Well, come and see a kinesiologist," and then they get the real answer. You know, so it
Mm-hmm.
is quite subtle. It's not like everyone can try it, but
Right.
whether they get the absolute right results or not, you can only know that when you go to a kinesiologist. And one of the reasons for that is they have to
Mm-hmm.
clear your energy field before you do the test, because you're holding on to
Absolutely.
all this stuff in your energy field, and it can affect the test. Even you
That's
just
true.
making a conscious decision that you don't want to pass this test or fail this test, that can be there stopping you,
Uh-huh.
affecting the result. um, so muscle testing is the only free way that you can do it. And
Okay.
you know, if you go onto our website, you can see ways that you can do it. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
best ways is to lie flat on your back and put
Mm-hmm.
your knee up in the air, and then
Mm-hmm.
pull your knee towards your head, and then
Mm-hmm.
someone else pushes that knee the other way, so you're pulling that way. So if you
Right.
imagine that my
Yes.
basically that's my knee, and
Yes.
that's my head is that way, and I'm trying to pull my knee towards my head, and you're trying to push the knee down.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is a very good test to do, because
Mm-hmm.
it's core body strength, and it should be pretty clear. And also, you
Mm-hmm.
can't use the rest of the body to pivot and affect the test, right? Because sometimes when you're holding your arm out, like, you know, to the side, you know, they can
Yeah,
lean, or they can use their body to
that's true.
change the strength and so on. So
Yes.
lying flat on your back, you haven't got anything else to pivot with. You know, it's just a
True.
very clean, clear test. The other tests, I mean, the other things that we do, apart from just trying our product, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't like it, then just let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We can't really offer much more than that, because the
Mm-hmm.
other tests that we did were, you know, require some analysis and a
Yes.
laboratory and those kind of things. So really, you're left to sort of understand our testimonials, and read those and see if those resonate with you. Look at our science and see whether our explanation resonates with you. Pretty much what I said there, changing
Yes.
the flow and the vibration to a
Absolutely.
vibration or a resonance or a harmony that our bodies like. So all of that, and understanding what the atom really is, how the light compresses itself into matter and then discharges itself, and it flicks on and off in rapid succession. So all of our cells are flicking on and off so fast, they have the illusion of matter, of cells, of flesh, of blood, of human being. But actually, all your cells are flicking on and off in rapid succession, and the on and off, the oscillation between the on and off, is frequency. It's just a number. It's the speed at which you're flicking on and off all your cells, all the electrical current in your cells. And just to be clear, they've measured all of the frequencies in our body, in our liver, in our spleen, in our, hearts, all of our brain waves are electrical fields. We know that, alpha, beta, gamma, etc. So this is kind of, we know it, but we don't live our lives based on it. Maybe we should, because we are all electrical beings, or beings of light, and electrical current is light. They're the same thing. The electrical current that comes out of the big yellow thing in the sky called the sun, that is light, but it's also electrical current. And it's the same in our bodies. Our bodies are full of light and electrical current. So that, I don't have many answers for you other than that. Look at our test results, see if they resonate with you. You can ask us any questions you want. Just shoot us an email, and we'll be happy to help. And apart from that, it just has to be a bit of trust and faith. And if it genuinely doesn't work for you, then just reach out to us. But we don't get many returns.
That I can vouch for. Absolutely. Well,
and you've had an experience as well, haven't you? You've actually used our products, haven't you? So.
I have been, excuse me, everyone. I've been using the Omnia Radiation Balancer for over 2 years now. And I just recently sent you my testimonial, which is on your website, I think, somewhere. But just to recap, what happened to me was years ago, and I was still experiencing it somewhat. I found out not too long ago, I'd say maybe 5, 6 years ago, that what I was experiencing all those years ago in the early 2000s was radiation poisoning, and I had no idea what it was. And when I did the research into what I was experiencing, I had found a temporary solution, which was all these sprays, but they were all chemicals. And it was an ordeal to have to get up, shower, put all these. I had 3 different bottles of sprays I had to put on me. And I had to do this twice a day for God knows how long. But what happened is latterly, I did a lot of healing, and that progression seemed to help because as I was releasing a lot of the toxins, the blockages in my physical aspect, it was also releasing in my energy field and out further. So it was going away, and therefore the results of my skin problem seemed to be lesser and lesser as I progressed through that time. So latterly it kind of slowed down to a crawl, and then I moved into a couple high rises where there's a lot of different frequencies that are present, and some are not as positive as others, and therefore the impact on our physical aspect reacts differently. Everyone has a different frequency that they vibrate at, therefore they will react differently to the stimuli around them and in their environments. And I found that my skin sensitivity with the radiation would come back off
Mm.
and on, off and on. So some days I would be like fine for weeks, and then it's always when I went to bed at night. When your body is in relaxing mode, then all of a sudden I felt like I had spiders or bugs crawling all over me. It was a horrible feeling,
Mm.
and I don't know. I didn't do too much research on it, Tim, but what happened was I think I was, I follow certain people and I was reading up on certain things, and then they were describing what radiation poisoning actually was, the physical sensations. It was exactly what I was going through. And
Right.
I went, the light bulb went on, aha moment, OMG. I
Mhm.
finally see this. This is what I've been experiencing. And I mean, even my family couldn't understand what I was going through. And when I had to find that spray stuff, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they would be ready to just say, tell you and say, oh, what she went through was pretty ordeal, a big ordeal. But I mean, we all have our stories throughout our lifetimes. But I'll
So,
tell
so,
you,
that, so then I mean, after you tried all the chemical side of things, which
yeah,
incidentally is classic, Western medicine, isn't it? Oh, you've
yes,
got a
it is.
chemical reaction in your body, we'll treat it
Yeah,
with more chemicals. And it's like, well,
yes,
actually, you need to get to the source of it, which is the electrical imbalance.
that's it.
So, but then you tried our products, and then how did that go?
So 3 years ago, when I found out about the orb, I was just like, "Oh, this is great," because, as I said, I live in a high rise. We have all these things that are affecting us on a daily basis, and just because it's in the unseen world doesn't mean it's not real. I mean, can we describe what love is? No, we can't describe it, but we can certainly feel it. It makes us feel good. It gives us all these endorphins and stuff. And when you balance the negative and the positive and make it in a harmony, and it balances everything in your system, it brings you into more, how could I, like, for me to describe the going to bed and not having all these creepy crawlies, there's nothing better than that. And this
Right.
happened, I would say, oh, when I don't know, maybe 6 months after I bought my stickers, because I have them on everything.
Right.
I have it on my phone, like everybody should have. And then I
Mhm.
have it on my Bluetooth speaker. I have it on my modem. I have it inside my microwave
Good.
because I
Yeah.
do use it to heat up my tea when it's cold and so forth. But I'll tell you, it's in my bedroom too. It's on my clock
Right.
because there's USB ports on this clock that I have.
Right.
So it has some radiation. So I have a sticker underneath there. I have a sticker underneath my 4K box. Everything, you name it,
Wonderful.
I've got stickers on them.
Yep.
And
Me too.
you know what?
Obviously.
And I'm telling you, it's been the real. These little stickers are a gem. They've been my little lifesaver. It's helped create a more harmonized atmosphere in my home so that my skin can get back to normal. It's still going through some processes because of course there's a lot going on in the external world, so it affects us too. But by the same token, if we whatever we can do to help our health to make it better. I mean, that's initially what we all want. We want uh, a healthy life, a thriving life, and and the orb for me has made it such an amazing part of my life. And as an energy healer, this is basically up my alley. Anything that is not invasive to me is something that is amazing in itself. And I am really grateful that you brought this to the world because for me, it's made a big difference and a huge impact in my life, Tim. So thank you.
Well, thanks for sharing that because it makes my day, makes it all worthwhile, when I wind back 3 years ago and meeting this random scientist telling me that he had a solution and then suddenly going down a rabbit hole to find out the truth about the atom and the cell and why, man-made radiation is different to the sun and
Hmm.
how everything that's created effectively by the creator,
Yes.
the creator's creation is
Hmm.
produced with this balance in it. It's
Yes.
almost like If you have a field that's going like this, spinning with balance and centeredness, you have the vibration of love. But if you have a field that's going like this, you have a vibration of fear. And really, we're on a plane of consciousness where we can basically turn the imbalanced wave fields into balanced wave fields, turn fear into love. And really, that's all this sticker does. It's almost like it contains a prayer. The genius of his invention is that he's managed to imprint a kind of a high energy, love vibration within here that overrides the imbalance of the EMF field, and then basically sets it back to something that our body, like I said before, that our bodies appreciate and resonate well with. So it's great to hear your testimony, because I can tell you all day long about how I've benefited, but you'll accuse me of selling my product, which I do. So it's great to hear back from you. So look, at the moment, a lot of people stand in disbelief of what we say, because there's no coverage on the mainstream media, because some of the biggest advertisers in the world make phones, or have telco networks.
They have a vested interest.
So they're very, very powerful. But here's our message, which is that they are draining us of our power, as in our electrical balance in our bodies. So we must stand up for ourselves and take that control back, restore that balance, and stand up for ourselves. So and it's very simple in terms of how we do it. We would always say that you should do as much as you can to turn stuff off at night, for example. Go for walks where you just leave your phone at home and just walk out into the woods, ground yourself, be amongst nature's vibrations, because they are literally the ultimate, resonant field or harmonic fields with us. That nature's fields is actually giving us all of this recharged energy. They amplify the love and the good vibration in our bodies. So do that, because have a routine where you give yourself half an hour every day to just break free, get away from the AI, artificial intelligence, and go organic. That's so we would always say do as much as you can, but in terms of what we offer, we hope that we make a significant impact in terms of people's balanced vibrations.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tim. I agree with you. Going out in nature is one of the best things that we can do for ourselves. And in the summer, go and do your earthing, take your shoes off and walk bare feet, ground yourself. I actually, in the winter, because we have winter here right now, I go and hug this one tree to ground.
Awesome.
Every day. He's huge. Like he's like, I don't know how many meters high. It's an ancient spruce tree, but yeah, he's my buddy, and I go and say hi and I hug him, and it just brings me right back to center. Yeah.
They've got amazing healing qualities, trees. They're providing our oxygen, aren't they? So they're really helping us on many levels. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hug a tree. There you go. Put your phone down and go hug a tree.
That's what I do. I leave my phone and all my devices, and I just go for my walk, and it brings you back to yourself, especially when you're having a really, really challenging day. We're all going through certain things right now, and the best way to navigate it is just to simply unplug from everything once a day, and however you want to do it. But
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But I want to say thank you so much for joining me today on the Great Awakening podcast, and I'm gonna put all of Tim's information on how you can reach him, access his website, and also right now we're if you choose to purchase an Omnia Radiation Balancer, you can go to my website. I have a page dedicated to it called the Orb page, and it will take you directly to Tim's website. And if you use Stay in Balance, which is my coupon code, you can save some money as well.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, so thank you, Tim.
Perfect way to, yeah, perfect way to try it out. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gazelle.